I think I said this after the game, but I'm so proud of this program, the team, for the work they put into obtaining the result that we got tonight. I remind them the last 10 days as we prepared, like, this will be a 60-plus minute fight. Georgia's been down in 9 games this year, and they find a way to come back and win. And so they had that mentality. Our coaches called the game aggressive. Our players executed, put everything on the line for this university and this football team, and I'm really proud of them. Proud of the way they handled, the events of the last 24 hours. And I want to make sure, again, send our condolences on behalf of our university and our football program to everyone that was affected by the tragedy. And, they had to be able to still get ready for this game with the natural emotions that come into each individual that happened after the tragedy. And so I'm proud of the way they prepared. They stayed steady, and they went out and they did a great job. And so with that, we'll open up for questions.
Thanks. Please raise your hand, and we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start in the front row on the right side.
Yeah, Marcus, you just alluded to the last 24 hours. I'm just curious, in your experience, how extraordinary was the experience and the swing of emotions from maybe the mood of your team yesterday, how you'll address that to getting ready to play this big game today?
Yeah. Yesterday morning we woke up and we had heard there was some type of incident. I don't think we all knew the details, but we were getting ready to play a game. And by the time we had a break and we had lunch, we found out that the game was postponed. And then we found out more details. And I think once you found out more details about the tragedy, the emotions took over each individual differently. But they handled it spectacularly, and they prepared. We spent some time together, and I think that's what you do in tough moments. You want to spend time with family, and that's what we are. But they found a way to get prepared for this opportunity and refocus. And again, it's unprecedented. Life, I told them this morning, there's things in life that they're unpredictable. And the ability to handle those unpredictable things determine the success. And they handled this incident, this change, but they handle everything that's thrown at them in an unbelievable way.
We'll ask you please identify yourself. Stand in the front row.
Rod Walker from the Times-Picayune here in New Orleans. Marcus, can you you and James Franklin are kind of making history here. Can you kind of just put in perspective what it means to you to be, one of 2 black coaches in this playoffs?
Yeah, it's, again, you're very grateful. It's a reminder that you are a representation for many others, and many of our players that look the same way I do. That, your color shouldn't matter, right? And that the evidence of your work should. But it takes everybody. And that's what I continue to remind myself. When people will try to point the finger at you, it's a great reminder of you're not in this position without everybody, without all these guys. And that's why I told them in the locker room I couldn't get off that stage fast enough, because everybody couldn't be up there. It's about the team. It's about everybody that puts everything they have into making sure that we can achieve that success. And so it's a great honor. It's a privilege. But again, as the head coach of this place, I understand we're not in this position unless everybody in this program gets their job done.
We'll go to the left side in the very back.
Coach Andrew Greenstein at Louisiana Radio Network. All 4 teams that played in the first round ended up advancing to the semifinals. I know you could only speak for yourself, but do you believe that having played on December 20th gave you a competitive advantage over a team that had not played since December 7th?
No, I don't. I think whatever circumstances you're given, you make the most of them. And if we would have had a first round bye, I would have been the first one to say, hey, this is great for us. We did it. It's great for us. We are always a glass half full group, and whatever circumstance we're throwing at us, we're going to take advantage of it and prepare and maximize the opportunity ahead of us. And so that's what they did. The first game had nothing to do with this game. It was the preparation that they put into this week in this game and the performance that they put on. But I don't believe in my heart that the first game had anything to do with this one. It was about the preparation they did after the first game.
We'll go to the right side.
Matt Baker with The Athletic. For either of the players, Coach Freeman talked about how hard it was for you guys to be able to refocus after yesterday. So as players, how were you able to refocus?
Obviously the events that occurred were very challenging, and you know, I just want everybody to know that the Notre Dame family, every single person in our locker room is praying for those families that are out there. I also want to thank the New Orleans Police Department for responding the way they did and creating a safe environment for us to play today so quickly after the events. But as a player and as a Notre Dame player, you recruit the right people for a reason. And I think adding another day is just helping our superpower out. We say our superpowers all the time. Our preparation and the character in our locker room. Those are two intangible things that we have that we utilize. So to have an extra day, you know, after we got done praying for all the families, I hit up my quarterback coach and said, all right, can we watch some film tonight? Like, I watched a whole, you know, I got 4 or 5 more hours of film study. We had another day of walkthrough. That's our superpowers, our preparation, and I think it definitely paid off today.
I'll go to the left side.
Coach Freeman, Jack Sobel with Blue and Gold Illustrated. You mentioned the coaches calling the game aggressively, like the 4th down call towards the end, deep in your own territory. Can you kind of explain the logic behind that one? And then with the aggressiveness as a whole, like how did that help you win tonight? And how did that kind of help you get here to this point?
Yeah, Jack, it's a mentality. You know, that situation that happened in the 4th quarter was something we practiced, and you know, I think the performance is a reflection of that. We had a lot of confidence in the ability to be able to do that, and you know, we had a plan, and that's the aggressiveness in terms of our preparation that I want our program to have, and again, out there when it matters the most. And so that's got to be one of our edges, right? Is that we are going to be an aggressive group and not fear making mistakes, not fear, hey, it didn't go your way. We went for it on 4th and 1. We didn't execute. Okay, here we go, defense, and they got to stop. And so that's how I want this group to attack our preparation and attack performance when we have the opportunity.
Real quick, he's being humble. That was completely his play, and we were going to do it a different way.
Marcus Freeman improves to 32-9 as Notre Dame head coach, his first CFP appearance, and so far he is 2-0. And now heading to play Penn State in Miami in the Orange Bowl, and for Notre Dame, significant because it's their most wins in a season in school history. 13 wins. Their only loss to Northern Illinois. They've ripped off 12 in a row to get to this spot. They're chasing their 12th national championship and their first since 1988.